man who has not fulfilled his days. For the child shall die 100 years old, but the sinner being 100 years old shall be accursed. So this is not that new heaven and new earth where there will be no more death. Are you following me? This is now. How is God going to create it? I can't hear you. This is what I've been teaching you since January, that you can create this season. Because all things are yours already. How would this be created? Well, let's go back to verse 17. What does he say? Verse 17. For listening to you, Bible study that you are doing. I don't call it annotation before. It was a word I got from you while listening to you teaching Bible study. So I'm acknowledging and crediting you for it. Thank you. I didn't know it's called annotation. I know connotation. I don't know, but I listen to others. And you don't know. By the word new, there's annotation, letter A. Look in your Bible. Isaiah 65:17. That's why I say you should be bringing your Bible to church. Is there letter A there? What does it take you to in the middle column? Isaiah 51, verse number 16. Give me Isaiah 51:16. We are going to see how he will create it. God is going to create this new heaven, new earth in partnership with those who follow after righteousness and those who know righteousness. He said, and I've put my words in your mouth. What plan there is? Establish the heavens, lay the foundations of the earth, and say to Zion, you are those who know righteousness. He said, I'll put my word in your mouth to purge the skies, to establish open heavens over yourself. In your church last Sunday, he has broken the gates of brass and caught the bars of iron inside. That was last Sunday. Now, here it is. He puts his word in your mouth to create your own environment. Do you know I create my own word? That's why there's nothing I'm looking for outside. I create my environment. I create my own word. You can create your own environment too. So I'll put that word in your mouth to create it. And when you create it, what's going to happen? Go back to Isaiah 65. Let's begin to read from verse 18. I'll be glad and rejoice forever in what I create. For behold, I create Jerusalem as a rejoicing. Now people enjoy. I will rejoice in Jerusalem and joy in my people. The voice of weeping shall no longer be heard in her, nor the voice of crying. No more shall an infant from there live but a few days, nor an old man who has not fulfilled his days, for the child shall die 100 years old. But the sinner being 100 years old shall be accursed. They shall build. I can't hear you. No, I can't hear you. They shall build. They will remain tenants till they die. They shall build houses and inhabit them. And another inhabit. They shall not plant and another eat. For as the days of a tree, so shall be the days of my people. And my elect shall long enjoy. They shall not labor in vain, nor bring forth children for trouble. For they shall be the descendants of the blessed of the Lord, and their offspring with them. It shall come to pass that before they come, while some are spending hours in prayer, in travail, night after night, day after day, God says, I'm raising a new creation. I'm going to empower them. I put my word in their mouth. They have obtained favor from me before they come. Transform a family, a society, or a nation. So let God do his work in you so that he can do his work through you. And as you proceed on this journey of destiny, remember that our ultimate destination is God. I pray that God's footprint will become your pathway, and that your path will be as a shining light that shines brighter and brighter to a perfect day. Till we meet again next week, remain sandwiched between the peace of God and the God of peace. Have an amazing week.
show that teaches men to put themselves first. My name is Harry Aigboje, and of course, it's my pleasure to have you join me on this episode of the show. Now, tonight we're discussing control. Should a man be controlling in his relationship? Okay, most of the time we hear ladies complain that their men are too controlling, be controlling in the relationship. First of all, how do you describe a controlling man? Have control in his relationship. So this alone, I've got two gentlemen with me. One of them is an old timer, but the other one is still a very fresh face. So I'm going to be starting with the fresh face. I'm talking Emmanuel Walters. Good to have you in the show, bro.
Pleasure being here this evening.
How's it been?
It's been very, very awesome.
All right, so I'm seated next to.
So much, Harry. Always a pleasure being here to do what we love doing.
Absolutely. All right, so we're discussing something really interesting tonight. Absolutely. All right, so we're discussing something really interesting tonight. Something that has to do with control. Now, I'm sure in your interactions with people, you must have heard some persons, especially the other gender, complain about some men of this era being too in his relationship or even in his marriage. I don't want us to just limit it to relationships, okay? Do you think a man should have control? And what is control to you? Maybe we should even have control in his relationship or to be controlling. Let me begin with you, Benedict Ochagu.
All right. Well, the thing is, when you're talking about controlling, as long as the relationship is between a man and a woman, they must be controlling.
Okay.
Is the hard truth that a lot of younger women are struggling with. But the truth is that the fact that you are finding it difficult to accept does not change the reality.
That's actually the part that I find interesting because it seems like this generation of women are the ones, having a hard time coming to grips with the fact that, there has to be somebody, that wields some level of control in the relationship.
Yeah.
It seems like, our mothers of old didn't quite have a problem with it.
Yeah, you see, I was discussing with you, it is very, very difficult to be a husband in our generation. In the time of our fathers, it was easier to be a husband because women understand that I am going to be loyal to a figure, a male figure. A woman understands that I am going there. For example, the man is a farmer, or
You're saying that they go in with polygamy in view.
of course, it was a general thing, especially in African setting, that it was almost like a 70% thing that as I'm going into this marriage, if I'm the first wife, the chances are
that there will be a second wife at some point.
Will bring somebody. And so you are even being by your husband.
But some persons now see this as a barbaric practice.
Oh, yeah. It depends. You look at it from contextual
Perspectives, okay.
Right.
Yep.
The world is growing. We are evolving. We are becoming more modernized. And then again, people awareness has increased. And so some persons will say, I don't want anybody to share my husband with me. And even some husband will even tell you that it is even difficult being a husband to one wife. This said
without filtration.
She wants the husband to fit into what an author said in US, without understanding that the scenarios are different.
Okay.
That's how that's how they are. And so some of the things our Gen Zs learn on social media, they want it to play. And that's what brings, especially maybe on movies and social media. And that's why when you come to propose to a woman, if you don't kneel down, she feels you don't love her enough. That is the effect of a man position to lead.
Okay.
And within that position to lead, you have to control. You have to look out for her. The Bible says nurture
Okay.
In nurturing, you look out for her, and in that looking out for her, you control her.
Okay.
Because if she goes out and not constipation, the effect will still fall back on you. And so you must control her to make sure she don't take that thing. In the bit of trying, for example, you can be in a relationship with a woman and you are telling her the way you are relating with boys, the way you are accepting every guy, chatting with every guy. I know this road you are following, this bush you are following, it was people that cleared it. Me as a guy, I know where this can lead to, because perhaps either you have used that skill to get a woman before, or you have, you know,
true.
Sorry guys, because I'm breaking guys' codes.
Absolutely.
People like Zabi watching us may not be happy.
Apology accepted.
Apology to the guy. So because of that, the guy tends to say, young lady, please set this boundary. Please set this boundary. Then say, why are you controlling me? You don't just have to wake up and say, I'm traveling for this birthday, I'll sleep over the weekend. Because, for example, maybe the relationship the guy was in before, it was that thing that took away the lady from her. So then the context is contextual. That's what I'm trying to say, that as long as a lady listening or watching us, you must understand that, for example, you accept to be with a man, you have accepted to be controlled. If you don't want to be controlled, just remain a single lady and be hanging out with your single ladies and other of your cosmates that are men.
All right.
But accepting to be with a man as a husband and a wife, you signed in to be controlled.
All right, thank you very much. Your own perspective to this issue seems to be more towards the marriage angle. But let me get your perspective on this, Walter. Do you think it's healthy for a man to control his woman?
According to what is said, majority of what is said are correct.
Okay.
But inside there, I'll still be opposing some of his words. Such as the part he made an example that the you are not letting her take her own personal decisions.
Very well, you're saying that there's a clear difference between restriction and protection and control.
Yeah.
So when you're protecting someone, it's in their own interest.
Yes.
But when you're controlling them, someone, you are trying to restrict them.
Yes, that's just it. You understand? Okay. So now he said some words about the stomach constipation example, and in that context, I'll put it as protection.